Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob Arnold, and alongside my colleague Jacob Peroni, we are working on creating our very first app called List It Out. This will be a task list manager app that will allow for users to create and then review lists of tasks for various activities that they have throughout the day. So let's go ahead and get going. As I alluded to before, this app should provide the users with necessary tools to create and track their tasks throughout the day in list form. The app needs to be flexible in its approach, meaning that it should be able to create lists for work-related activities, grocery, even something as simple as a grocery list, to-do tasks, recreational activities, or something that could be used on vacation. And the user should be able to create as many tasks as needed. And then on the flip side, once that user has created those tasks and as they're using the application, we want them to then be able to use functionality within the app to provide various statistics as they are completing or if they have uncompleted a task. And then also the app should remind that user if they have a task that is upcoming that has not yet been completed.
The high-level requirements for our app listed out revolves around users creating day-to-day tasks. Users will go and add tasks that they need to get done that day, which can range from homework assignments to creating a shopping list for when they go to the store. Once users complete a task, they can clear it from the home screen so they can focus on the other tasks they need to get done that day. Users can also delete all tasks from the screen, and this is in there in case they forget to clear their completed tasks at the end of the day, and they can start fresh for the next day. There's also some progress statistics that the user can see to see how far along they are and how much more they have to go to completing the day's tasks.
Here we have a use case diagram for the example of one of our users creating a list or adding a task to create that list. With this, you see first the user would open the app and then they would be eventually welcomed by the welcome screen that's coming back and showing to them through the splash screen we have created for our app. And then the create state function would kick in and give them the home screen state that will be displayed later on during our demo. This would then move forward with allowing them to select the button to add the task, and that would then prompt them to enter the task, and they would add the text for what that is. And then following that, it would display the task, so add it to the list, and then display that to the user in the list that is shown on the screen. And here we have another use case diagram. This is for the example of removing a single task from the user-created task list. This, of course, would have the user follow the same process as the initial use case diagram as far as getting into the application, going through the welcome screen, then showing them their home screen state, which is where their task list would be displayed. From here, they would simply need to check mark which task was completed. And then after that, it would show, the system would then show the check mark next after they click the button. They would then choose the option to remove, or the button to remove those completed tasks. The system would remove any tasks that have the check mark next to them. And then finally, that would update the task list and display that to the user that the completed task is no longer on their list. And here we have a third use case diagram. This is for the instance that the user would like to just fully delete a whole task list they had set up to either start fresh on a current day, or if maybe it's a new day and they need to start a new list of items to complete. Once again, that user would go through the same process through the welcome or splash screen. That would take them eventually to their home screen state. After that, there is a simple button that's been formatted into the app that would delete the entire task list, regardless if it was had a check mark next to it to indicate that anything was complete. So they would simply select that button, which would indicate to the app to go ahead and remove all items from that task list, which it would then do, and then turn around and display a blank task list that would show no task has been added yet at this time.
The technology stack that we decided to use for our project consisted of Android Studio, Visual Studio Code, Flutter, Android and Flutter SDKs, and the Dart programming language. Android Studio was used mainly for phone emulation, so that way, as we created our app and built up its pages, we could visualize them and see what needed to be changed. Visual Studio Code was our IDE of choice, as both my partner and I have experience in using it and are comfortable with it. Flutter helps us create a robust native app all from one single code base, so we're not switching between having to work on an iOS code base and an Android code base. Flutter also has tools and features that are very efficient in mobile application and in debugging. The hot reload feature allows changes to be reloaded into the app without having to restart the whole application. And Flutter is built off of the Dart programming language. For our milestones for this project, we've completed everything except for setting up a task notification system. We tested our app and all of its functionality is working. With that being said, the notification system, we couldn't get it working correctly in time for this presentation as well as for the demo that you'll be seeing shortly. But we did test the app and all the other functionality with the adding tasks, clearing tasks, deleting tasks, and viewing their progress is all working correctly.
Here we have our project management environment, a snapshot of it at least. We went ahead and used GitHub, which seemed to be the recommended option for this class and certainly worked well enough for us. You'll notice that on this listed out program for my environment on GitHub, we have 3 branches that we wound up working through to get this project completed. The one shown, the graph and home screen branch, is the final product that we got to. We hadn't been able to put it back into the master all in one at this time. So this is the screen that shows where our final product is kept.
Hello everyone, this is the demo for the app listed out by myself, Jacob Peroni, and Jacob Arnold. Right now I'm just restarting our application in the emulator so you can see it from start to finish. So once opening the app, the welcome screen displays for the user, and they're taken straight to the home page where they can start creating tasks. So we'll go ahead and add 3 tasks. Okay, so now that we have our 3 tasks created, we can go about our day completing them. So let's say, for instance, a little time goes by and we complete task A. So we can check mark it and then clear it from the screen. And then if we navigate to our stats page, we can see that we have 1/3 of the bar complete because we've completed one task out of the 3 we created. So now we say we went through and we completed both the other tasks. Again, we clear it to show the update for the stats page. So now the stats page, we have 100% completion, as well as a little message stating how far along we are. Now let's say something comes up and we need to add a couple more tasks. So we'll add 2 more tasks for the day. So now we have 2 more tasks that we need to get done for the day. But if we navigate to our stats page, it's updated to reflect the current totals. So now we've completed 3 tasks out of the 5 that we now have. And our message is we're still over halfway done, which is good. Now say that we do complete these tasks, but we forget to check mark them and clear them from the screen. We can just go ahead and the next day if we see that, we can just delete all and we can start fresh and add new tasks for the day. And this concludes the demo for List It Out. Thank you all.